Hey everyone, welcome to Financial Revelations. I am your host, David Szafranski. Of course, you can always call here, just like somebody's doing right now, and I didn't put my phone on mute. So hand me that, Corey, and I'll put it on mute for everybody so they don't have to be tortured by this. 1-800-344-2534 is the phone number here. You can email Corey it's Kory, Corey at epsf.com. It's all running below me. And of course, if you wanted to come in and meet with us or talk with us or have us look over a portfolio, there's no pressure to work with us. If you just want a second opinion, we do that for a lot of people. We volunteer our time for that, so you have to work around my schedule. And this time of the year, we're meeting with a lot of existing clients, so you might get put off until January, but hey, that's okay. You'll get what you're looking for, and you'll get an unbiased second opinion on what you're doing right now. And we're more than happy to tell people, hey, what you got is pretty good. I don't really see a reason to change. We don't, believe it or not, we don't have to manage everybody's money. We don't. So that's up to you if you want to do that. We're taking a mission trip in March. It's full. You can't go. You can go on the next one if you go to nativosusa.org. Nativosusa.org. You can look at what we're doing. We're revamping the website right now. We're opening up our own 501c3. There's a lot of big things happening. It's really kind of an exciting time for us. We want to take you. We want you to go. We want you to see this. If you can't go and you don't want to go, you're like, hey, I don't want to go to the jungle. We live on a boat. We have a Starlink. We have communications. There's not a lot of bugs, believe it or not. Where we go, there's not a lot of bugs. I've never seen a snake there. Although if Corey went, we probably would see a big snake. So we're not taking her. We won't let her go because we'll see a snake. It's a great trip. But if you can't do those things, you can always support it because we take people, we take ministry workers, we take people from the church that, they don't have a lot of money, but they want to go on a mission trip, so we pay for their mission trip. 100% of what you give us goes to the mission. 100%, believe it or not. We have our accounting stuff is all donated. We have an accountant that donates her time for that. 100%. I pay for my trips. Anybody else that goes pays for their trips. But we like to take people that can't pay, so they have the experience of going. And so your donation could help do that. It could help build a church there, do a lot of things. So if you want to give, Nativos USA, you can give money there. And it's really a great cause. You'd love it if you went. I'm telling you right now, it's such a great trip. It's what I call epic travel because you're going to be in a place in the world that maybe 1/1,000,000th of all human population has ever seen. You're going to put a muddy footprint in the bank of that river, and you're going to create real change. You're going to give people real hope. You're going to put a missionary in their village. You're going to dig a fresh water well or build something or meet a need. It's just great to do these things. Now, of course, you don't have to go to Brazil to do a mission trip. You could do a mission trip right here in your backyard, in Lorain, Ohio, in Cleveland, Ohio. I encourage you to do those things. I want you to do those things. It doesn't have to be with us. It could be to some other place. The reason why I like our trip, especially, is because it's short. It's 11 days start to finish, and we get 2 weekends in there. So the least amount of work days are missed, but you can still work because we got a Starlink. You have internet in the jungle. We're 150 miles from any discernible life. You still got it. So, and I wrote a book called The Sin of Retirement. I want you to buy that book. It's available at my website, sinofretirement.com. You can also get it on Amazon, but I'd rather have you buy it at my website where there's merch. And by the way, we're going to give away merch today. And if you email Corey and say, cheer foul, I want lower rates, we're going to send you a hat or a t-shirt. Cheer foul, I want lower rates. And Chair Powell actually kind of came through yesterday. Chair Powell lowered rates a quarter point, 25 basis points. There was a little concern that he might not. Now, I was fairly certain that he would lower rates. And the press conference afterwards was very interesting because he's kind of siding with Donald Trump. Now, here's my theory. Chair Powell, and by the way, Donald Trump did not let him get away with just a quarter point. Donald Trump still beat up on him, which I like. Because Chair Powell, his real name is Chair Powell, but I call him Chair Powell because I think he sold out politically to the Biden administration by not raising rates when we had super high inflation. We all knew it. He waited way too long, and now he's waited way too late to cut, and it is having an impact. It's having an impact on the housing market. It's slowing the housing market way down. Now, it is true, it's not the only thing slowing the housing market down. The housing market is being slowed down by two things, actually. It's the higher rates, and it's also a lack of adequate supply, which when there's, even if you studied basket weaving, you probably had an Econ 101 class where they talked about supply and demand. This is the most basic principle in economics, which is if the supply is low but demand is high, prices rise. If supply is high and demand is low, prices fall. It's the supply and demand curve. It's very basic. And right now, we're underbuilding houses. We've been underbuilding houses since 2008, and COVID did not help because a lot of places in the country wouldn't let you go to work. California, you could not go to work. They would not let you go to work. They wanted to hurt the economy. It's the darndest thing. It's like Randy Weingarten, who's the head of one of the big teachers union, kept people out of school and then blamed Donald Trump for people not going back to school. This is what liberals do. Whatever they're accusing you of is what they're doing. And what they would do is say, well, we want to get people back to school, but we want it to be safe. And so and students were the people least likely to have a bad effect from COVID, but they kept them out of school anyway. So they said, we want to get you back to school, but then they set the standard so high nobody could achieve it. Consequently, people stayed at home. If it were up to her, people would still be learning remotely. It's the dumbest thing ever, but that's liberals for you. So Chair Powell lowered rates. It is going to help. The press conference proved two things afterwards because they announced their decision. Then he has a press conference where the reporters ask him the same question over and over again, and a lot of dumb questions too. But Chair Powell wants to go on a high note. He does want to go in. So he confirmed one thing in particular, that tariffs are a one-time price increase. They're not inflationary. One-time price increase. So the Democrats want you to believe that tariffs are inflationary. They're not. They're not my favorite tool. I'll be honest with you. They're not my favorite tool, but I understand what they're trying to do. And to some extent, it probably will work. Probably will work because, the United States is the market. When you come to the United States, it's the market that everybody wants to play in. So the Europeans sell their cars here. The Chinese sell everything here. They sell everything they have into here. They dump stuff here. The Mexicans sell stuff into here. Vietnam sells stuff. Malaysia. Sri Lanka sells stuff here. Do you even know where Sri Lanka is? Because I don't. All these places, Pakistan sells stuff here. You know what we don't do? We don't sell anything in Pakistan. Nothing. So basically, our markets are open to them, but their markets are not open to us. And the Trump administration has decided that that is not right, it is not fair, and it's not going to happen. Now, to some degree, to a large degree, people in Pakistan cannot afford the things that we make. So our standard of living is so much higher here that they really, even if their markets were wide open, they still couldn't afford the things that we make. So it's a little bit of a spurious argument, but it is the argument that we have. So what Donald Trump is saying is, look, this is like the position A to sell into. This is the best place to sell into. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to have unfettered access to our markets, you're going to pay a price to do that. And that's what we've decided. And we're raising hundreds of billions of dollars through it. It is undeniable. You could see it. I would use that money to pay off the debt, probably return some money. They're going to give some money back to farmers because some farmers have been hurt by tariffs. And I would lower government costs. That's what I would do with it. I would take that money and pay off the debt and help the farmers. They're doing some of that. I don't know if they're paying off the debt or not. I still have yet to meet the politician that wants to pay off the debt. They just don't want to do it. Now, we're always going to have some debt. So I would get our debt down to maybe like 18 trillion. It's in the 30s right now. I'd get down to 18 trillion because other countries rely on our debt fairly dramatically to stabilize their economy. So we need our debt. We're always going to have debt. So it's the amount of debt that we're going to have. But Chair Powell in the press conference confirmed two things. Tariffs are not inflationary, and the Donald Trump economy is vibrant. We have a vibrant economy. And when we roll over the year, that's just a couple of weeks away, the new tax bill is going to the big, beautiful bill is going to take effect. And you really need a tax cycle to run through to get the full effects of this. And it's going to take 4 or 5 years to really filter all the way through the economy. And Chair Powell wants to go on a high note. So the press conference was really good. He probably will lower rates one more time. Donald Trump is going to announce Kevin Hassett, the next Fed chairman, who's going to be dovish. And you're going to get 4 rate cuts next year. You're going to get mortgage rates into the 5s, maybe even sub 5. And you're going to get a humming economy by midterms. And it's going to be really a beautifully growth economy. It's going to be a beautiful growth economy next year. So when people say, well, what do you think of next year? And I did my prediction for next year last podcast. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a risk-on, growth-oriented investment year, and you got to be part of it. I just had somebody in the office. They just left. And one of the things he said is, I can't believe how much money you're making me. I said, well, why can't you believe that? I believe it. I see it all the time. You just got to be growth-oriented. You don't have to be aggressive growth. I don't own a lot of bonds unless people make me buy them. We don't own esoteric things that could go out of business. Although investing always involves risk. There could be a Boeing incident in a company. There could be a Boeing incident at Boeing. The Boeing incident happened at Airbus the last couple of months because their A320s had to be dragged off line and evaluated because of a structural problem with them. Nothing crashed, thankfully. I don't want to see that happen ever again. But you could get those things where your investments go down for a while. Be patient. I've learned these lessons in the 90s, in 2000 and 2008. I learned this lesson. If you own good companies, they will come back. And that's the way we invest. And that's how I want you to invest. I want you to be growth-oriented. I want you to be unafraid. I want you to participate in this great investment community that we have. This environment that we have right now is spectacular. And I want you to be part of it. I am David Szafranski, a real American, a true red-blooded patriot, and the voice you can trust.